Level 1, the recruit. You are 19 years old, and nothing about this feels accidental. You chose this. 3 times, you chose it. The first time you failed before the clock even became a factor. Your lungs gave out halfway through the run, your legs turning to something soft and unreliable. The second time, you lasted longer, but not long enough. The third time, you passed by a margin so thin it felt like luck had leaned in and nudged you forward. Then the letter arrives. No flourish, no congratulations, just instructions. Report to the academy. Monday, 0500 hours, you read it twice. Then a third time, not because it's unclear, but because something about it feels final. There's no negotiation in those words, no delay, just expectation. The academy sits on the eastern edge of Los Angeles, a converted warehouse that still smells faintly of oil and dust. 40 recruits stand in formation on the first morning. No one talks. Not really. There's too much uncertainty in the air for conversation to settle. By the end of week 2, 8 are gone. They're not dismissed. They quit. That detail matters, because it means the job didn't reject them, they rejected the job. You start to understand why. The days begin in darkness. They end in darkness. Somewhere in between, your body is dismantled and reassembled into something more efficient, less forgiving. 6 miles before breakfast, push-ups, until your arms forget what straight feels like. Then the classroom law, procedure, use of force, words that sound clinical but carry weight you can't yet measure. Sergeant Gaza moves through the room like a shadow that learned how to stand still. He doesn't shout. That's the unsettling part. He just appears behind you when your focus slips, waits, says nothing until you feel it, that quiet pressure crawling up your spine. One morning, Whitfield breaks, not dramatically, not loud, just 3 words. That's not fair. Gaza doesn't react immediately, doesn't raise his voice, doesn't argue. He just says one word. Drop. Whitfield drops. So do the rest of you, because that's how this works. Individual mistakes become collective consequences. Whitfield is gone by Friday. No explanation, no speech, just absence. You don't speak out of turn again, not for 6 weeks. You learn what silence costs. You learn what it saves. By graduation, there are 23 of you left. 17 didn't make it. You don't ask where they went. You're handed a badge. It's heavier than you expected. Not physically, but enough that you notice. It's level 2, the patrol officer, you are 21, and the badge no longer feels new. It feels necessary. 2 years of patrol stand between you and anything else. That's the rule. Not written in ink, but enforced in practice. Your beat is East Compton. Night shifts, the city feels different after midnight. Quieter in some places, louder in others. You ride with 15 years on the job. He eats cold tamales at 3 in the morning, like it's a ritual he stopped questioning years ago. He never rushes. That bothers you at first. Calls come in urgent, chaotic hand. He moves with the same steady pace every time. One night, you ask him why. Because the ones who sprint toward everything, he says, don't last. He glances at you, then back at the road. They burn out, or they get hurt. You don't respond, but you remember it. You start pacing yourself, not slower, just controlled. A call comes in from an apartment complex off Wilmington Avenue. Domestic disturbance, 3rd floor. You knock, the door opens, 6 inches. Chain still on. Her eye is swollen shut. She says everything is fine. You don't argue, you don't push, you write the report. Exactly as it happened. Every detail, the injury, her words, the hesitation between them, the report goes nowhere. 2 months later, you're back at the same door, same woman, same silence, you write it again. This time, you understand something you didn't before. The law and justice are not the same thing. They move in parallel. Sometimes they intersect. Sometimes they don't. Single quotes. At the end of year 2, you submit your SWAT application. Doloqua signs your recommendation without you asking. You don't panic. He tells you, that matters more than anything else. Level 3, the candidate you are 23. Assessment week begins before sunrise. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. Obstacle course, first timed, then shootinati rounds, moving targets, low light, then psychological evaluation. Then the interview. For operators sit across from you. Their questions don't have correct answers. That's the point. You breach a room, your partner goes down. Suspect still armed. 2 seconds, what do? You answer, they don't react. They watch your eyes instead. By day 3, your body feels like something borrowed. By day 4, they take you to a decommissioned school building. Hostage simulation. Everything goes wrong. The civilian screams, lights fail, radio cuts. You move anyway. Afterward, Hale pulls you aside. You hesitated at the threshold. He says, "Why? You could lie. You don't." "I didn't know if my partner had a clean angle." He writes something down. No reaction. No feedback. 62 candidates started. 11 are selected. You are one of them. You don't celebrate. Because something about the process makes one thing clear. This was the easy part. Level 4. The operator probationary. You are 24. You wear the patch. But it doesn't belong to you yet. 18 months of probation. 18 months of being watched. Training isn't dramatic. It's repetitive. Entry drills hundreds of times. Same movement, same angles, same corrections. Until your body moves without asking your brain for permission. Sergeant Reyes trains you. Former Army Ranger. He doesn't waste words, doesn't need to. Your first call-out is a barricade situation in a motel room. You take position, you wait for hours. Negotiator works the line. The suspect surrenders. No shots fired. Some operators look disappointed. You don't, because you're starting to understand something. A call-out where nothing happens is the best possible outcome. By month 14, the scrutiny eases. By month 18, it stops. Reyes nods at you across the room. That's it. That's the acknowledgement. Level 5, the operator UR 20-6.31, callouts behind you. 2 times you fired your weapon, both justified. Neither feels like something to remember. The work isn't what people think. It's not action, it's preparation. Thousands of hours of it, rope descents, breaching charges, medical drills. You learn how to stop bleeding, how to keep someone alive long enough for help to matter. A call comes in, elementary school. Active shooter, 1114. A.M.U, move before the briefing ends. The building is cleared, suspect barricaded. You hold the corridor. 40 minutes pass, door opens. Hands first in the debrief. Nobody talks about emotions, only mechanics, angles. Timing, mistakes. On the drive back, Torres says 2 words, "Good day." You don't ask why you were selected, you just show up. 8 weeks in the Mojave, the first lesson is stillness. Not patience, not discipline, stillness. Stillness, you learn how not to move, not to cough, not to shift hours under the sun. Your spotter is Quan. 12. Years on the team, she speaks in fragments. ZL earn to fill the gaps. The legal standard is absolute. Imminent threat, no alternative. Positive identification. Every decision is dissected. Every hesitation, examined. Your first deployment lasts 7 hours. No shot taken, hostage released. You pack your rifle, climb down. "Good day," Quan says. You nod because now you understand level 7. The team leader, you are 33. 6 operators look to you now. That changes everything. Your decisions don't just affect you anymore, they affect outcomes, people, lives. Paxton is fast, too fast. You correct him, speed matters. You tell him, accuracy matters more. He adjusts. Slowly, but he adjusts. A bank robbery turns into a hostage. Situation, 17 entry points, 20 minutes to plan. You use 18. Execution takes 4. All hostages walk out. Afterward, you list your team's actions in the report. Every name, every role. Command asks why you didn't take credit. "Because I made mistakes," you say, and they covered them. That's leadership. Not perfection, but accountability. Level 8. The negotiator, you are 30-7. You learn something unexpected. People in crisis don't just want safety, they want to matter. That realization changes how you speak, how you listen. A man sits alone in an apartment. Everything in his life has collapsed. You stay on the phone, 3 hours and 40 minutes. No promises, no pressure, just presence. At 11:52 p.m., the door opens. He sits down and cries. You sit beside him, say nothing. Because sometimes silence is the only correct response. Level 9, the commander. You are 43. The job becomes invisible. Paperwork, decisions, accountability. A shooting happens, justified. But context disappears in a 15-second clip. You face the public, you don't soften the truth. A man was shot, you say. We owe you an explanation. Trust breaks easily. It takes years to repair. You learn the hardest part of the job isn't action, It's responsibility after the action. Every decision documented, every outcome examined. You stop seeing accountability as pressure. You start seeing it as protection. Level 10. The end. You are 51. A folding chair, a quiet gymnasium, speeches, statistics. None of them feel complete because the real work, the most important work, was never recorded. The conversations, the restraint, the moments where nothing happened because everything was done right. Reyes is there. He nods. That's enough. You go home, sit in the dark, and think about Whitfield, about Gerald, about Estrada, about Delacroix, about every moment that shaped you. 32 years of learning when to act and when not to. No one tells you the job ends this quietly. But now you understand, quiet was always the goal. Not the absence of work, but the absence of chaos. You never needed noise to prove the work mattered, because the best outcomes were the ones where nothing had to be said at all.